Hello, peoples. This is SuperFullGoku here. It's been a while since we did a video, but hey, we're back at you to do some new ones. Today, I'm going to show you the Psy-Gustos. It's a combination of psychics and gustos, and it's a fun deck. It's a Shiggles deck, but it actually works pretty well. You can pull up a lot of combinations, so let's get right into it.
It's very trolly.
Obviously. So first, 2 Pilica, Descendant of Gustos. It's a newer card that just came out. Really good card. When it's either normal or special summoned, you can special summon a Wind Tuner in your graveyard. And you special summon it, it's effects are negated, and you can only special summon wind type monsters, but it's the fact that you can just get off so many different plays with this. So, you know, normal summon, special summon, and get a tuner, synchro summon. And it's just actually really good. So I'd go to say that I'd love to run into 3 if I get another one, but it's just such a great card. Next, 3 Psy-Gusto Eagles Tuner, level 1. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 4 or lower non-tuner Gusto monster. Which, for the way that we play with them, we go through monsters a lot. So when these leave the field, it's the fact that, oh, there's another monster that takes its place, and it's just whatever, whether we use it for synchroing or whatever. Next, we have 3 Psy-Gusto Goldos. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, by any means, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower Gusto monster from your deck. So pretty much you go from Gustos into Eagles. It works really good with that. Just leaves the field, bring that out, do more synchro plays. Absolutely beautiful.
Plus the freeze OTK.
Which, yeah, we'll bring that up later, but yeah, one of the coolest things this deck can do is that there's a synchro monster called Gustos Freeze, that you just pretty much get it out and just keep suiciding these into them, and they take all the damage. So obviously, I'll show you the synchro monster later, but it's just a beautiful play. Next, 3 Calm Serenity Gustos. Once per turn, you can shuffle 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into the deck to draw a card. So it's a recycler. In this deck, you go through monsters so much that you definitely need something to recycle cards, and that means draw power too, which is always good. Next, 3 Winda, Priestess of Gustos. When this card is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Gusto Tuner monster from your deck. Doesn't matter what level, so you can go to Eagles or Goldos, and either one is always good. Next, 3 Silent Psychic Wizards. When this card is normal summoned, you can select 1 Psychic type monster from your graveyard and remove it from play. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can first summon that monster to the field. And with this deck, removing those monsters, getting them back, do awesome plays. So it's definitely an awesome thing to do. Next, 3 Serene Psychic Witch. When this card is on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can remove from play 1 Psychic type monster from your 2,000 or less attack from your deck, and during your next standby phase, you can special summon it. So it's just another it's pretty much like a Silent Psychic Wizard that you once again you can get off so many plays, and it's just beautiful. Next, Mental Seeker. One of the monsters you will go for with that effect. It's a tuner, level 3, and when this card is removed from play and then special summoned back, you can look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and you can banish one of them. So just beautiful plays all day. Next, 2 Esper Girls. Another one of the monsters that you remove from play and you bring back. This one, when it's special summoned, you move and play the top card of your deck, and when this card leaves the field, you can get that card. And since it's a tuner, it never really stays in the field that long anyways, so. Next, Mirror Jane from Fairy Tail. Ghost Fairy of Labio. Basically, once per turn, you can reveal 1 wind type monster in your hand, and your opponent's monsters with a higher level than that can't activate their effects until the next standby phase. I just love how it looks. It's cool.
It does look exactly like
it. It really does. Anyone who watches Fairy Tail, it just really looks like Mirror Jane. And last, Tempest, Dragon of Storms. Yeah, there's not that many wind dragons in here, but it's a fact that we recently discovered that it's a you can effect. So when you toss it, you don't really have to add a dragon. But then of course you can just banish winds and get it out anyway. So it's just whatever. That's the monsters. It's very a very simple set of monsters. It's pretty much just having consistency. So it's really not all that difficult to really run. Next for spells. 2 Psychokinesis. Activate only when you control a face-up psychic monster. You can destroy one of your opponent's cards, and you take 1,000 points of damage. There are ways to revolve around effect damage and stuff like that, but it's just pretty much like the MSTs of the deck and whatnot. So that's why I don't really run MSTs and stuff. Next, Miracle Synchro Fusion for. I'll show you later what it goes for, but
the
it's
big boss.
The big boss of the deck that just wrecks house. It's pretty much like the Quasar of the deck, if you will.
Oh, please. Don't compare him to that.
It's the best I can compare it to, but anyway. Next, Creature Swap, because giving somebody an Eagles and stuff like that and just beating into it, it's just hilarious. Next, one Mind Control, and one Dark Hole. So very simple on spells. You really don't run that much back row in this deck, because you keep going, and you get off so many effects that you really don't need to. Next, 2 Psychic Overloads. You select 3 Psychic type monsters in your graveyard, return them to the deck, and then draw 2 cards. So
like a Pot of Avarice for Psychic.
Yeah, it's pretty much Pot of Avarice for Psychic types. You grab them, put it back, draw 2, beautiful. You get your crap back, and you draw. What else do you need? Next, 2 Mirror Force, a Solemn Warning, and a Threatening Roar. So like I said, you really don't need to run that much back row, because you're constantly moving, and your effects will keep you from taking damage and whatnot. Okay.
You always have some form of field presence.
There's always some form of field presence. I mean, pretty much when they all get destroyed, they bring something else anyway, so you always have something. For the extra deck, obviously 2 ultimate ass kickers. Just, look at this beautiful piece.
This is the boss.
This is where you use Miracle Synchro Fusion to come get. All you basically gotta do is from the field or graveyard banish a Psychic type monster and a Psychic type Synchro monster, which is very easy to do. Amazingly. And then you get this bad boy out, who can't be destroyed by card effects. So every time you kill a monster, I believe it's this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. During battle between this attacking card and defense position monster, whose defense is lower than the attack of this card, inflict the difference as battle.
Piercing.
Yeah, piercing.
Yes, piercing.
Yeah, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sent to the graveyard, you gain life points equal to the destroyed monster's attack. Once again, ultimate field presence. And, I mean, if an opponent has a monster that's stronger than this, then obviously it deserves to die, but this is the fact that it's very hard to get around for a lot of other decks. So, it's just a beautiful freaking card.
Especially considering almost every deck relies on destruction power, not attack power.
Exactly, and it's just a card that, it just messes everyone up. Next, we have 2 Psy-Gusto Eagles. Once per turn, during your end phase, you can banish 1 wind-type monster from your graveyard. Target 1 face-down card your opponent controls, and you try that target. So, 2600 attack, destroys set cards. What more can you want? Absolute death. Next, 2 Psy-Gusto Goldos. Once per turn, you can shuffle 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into the main deck, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and show that target. So you have set card destruction and monster destruction. And since their levels are just so flexible, it's really not all that hard to get them out. Next, 1 Psy-Gusto Focus. When this card is single summon, all Gusto monsters gain 500 attack. So this becomes 2,000 attack, and a lot of your other monsters. Basically, when you bring this one out, you're probably going to have Gusto monsters on the field anyways, so it's just a little plus. Extra destruction. Now on to the most beautiful aspect of the deck, Psy-Gusto's Freeze. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. Any damage that is dealt to a Gusto monster is dealt to your opponent. So basically, what I was talking about earlier is that you have this neat little combo with Window, Goldos, and Eagles. You pretty much just keep special summoning out and suicide aim against your opponent's stronger monsters, and they take honorable damage. They take all the damage that that would be dealt to you. They get, so it's just absolutely beautiful. Just when you keep suiciding these weaker monsters into them, and they just keep taking damage all day. It's just absolutely hysterical. That's why it's such a great card, and it's so easy to get out too. It's just so beautiful. Next, one Psychic Life Transfer. Once returned, you can remove from play one Psychic type monster from your graveyard to gain 1,200 life points. So, gain back life points. It's a very flexible deck in that aspect. Next, one Magical Android. During your end phase, gain 600 life points for each face-up Psychic type monster you control. So, once again, more life points and 2,400 attack. Can't beat that. Absolute beautifulness. And one of my favorites, because it's just beautiful, Psychic Nightmare, which is just awesome. Once returned during your main phase, you can pick one random card in your opponent's hand. And you call it what type it is. You just guess. Monster, spell, trap, whatever. And if you call it right, this card gains 1,000 attack until your opponent's end phase. So it goes from 2,400 to 3,400, and you get to look at their opponent's hand. I mean, if you guess right. But still, you're gaining attack and you're just seeing what your opponent's got, and it's just absolutely beautiful, like artwork. It's just awesome looking. Next, one TG Hyper Librarian, just because it's synchro summons up the ass. Stardust, obviously, and Allied Justice Catastrophe, because it's a synchro deck.
Self-explanatory.
It's very self-explanatory. Every single deck should run Catastrophe. It's one of those cards. So yeah, that's the Psy-Gustos are called. Any comments, ideas, any good, criticism, comment, rate, subscribe, all the good stuff. And this is SuperFullGoku coming at you.